1961 we left from Trieste to come to Australia, and I didn't have a sense that we were going to leave everything behind and that was going to be hard or anything. I just had this sense of that this most amazing adventure was coming along. Little did I know what effect the voyage itself would have on us because of my mother. Within a few hours of departing Trieste, the boat caught fire. People started seeing smoke coming out of the back of the boat, and I remember my mother just going absolutely berserk, losing it. She was very easily frightened. We all had to get off. No one died, but there was a lot of damage. My mother then said, I'm not going back on that boat. That boat is jinxed. Once we got going, she became sort of closed up. She wouldn't leave the cabin. So we were always going up and buying chamomile from the little kiosk on the boat to try and calm her down. Can you imagine that for 30 days? She was just paranoid, totally frozen, paranoid, anxious. And that was the beginning of her anxiety and depression eventually. Then to go from this to Bonegilla in the middle of winter, a severe winter. Dad, he got on a train back to Melbourne. His mate's boss lined him up for an interview at Modern Printing Company and he got the job straight away. He found a place for us and then he came and picked us up. So we spent a total of 3 weeks in Bonegilla, which was pretty bloody good. We moved into West Heidelberg about 5 years after we came to Australia. I was taking pictures and sending them back to Italy. The pictures were an unusual way to keep in touch. The only thing I could see about these photographs was the isolation that especially my mother had lived through. It's so bloody obvious, if you take a person away from their village, from their family, from their clan, you plonk them 12,000 miles away where they can't speak the language. That was such an enormous sacrifice, and the price they paid was this total dislocation and mental illness. There was a great sense of community outside of the lonely time during the week, where Mum would be at home by herself. Then she actually started working. I was amazed what difference it made to her. She'd be laughing and she had all these friends at work and we'd hear all these stories of, what went on at night. And it was a fantastic thing for her. I went online and basically tried to find a camera that would have been made in the 50s, but it feels like it's the model that he had. They're very simple cameras, but they if you set them up correctly, they do take a reasonable shot. So there you go. In 2003, my father had just been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. I had to find a way to engage with him. Photographs are such memory joggers. I had these photographs that I'd taken a long time ago, but they were horrible, they were technically horrible. It just struck me that the loss of memory is like a photograph going fuzzier and fuzzier and fuzzier until you can almost not recognise anything anymore. So it was a wonderful metaphor. When I did win the award, I started thinking more and more about what I'd done. Eventually that in fact led to these 9 books that are only the beginning of what I want to do. I've got about another 30 planned. I could spend the rest of my life just utilising my archive, which I've only tapped into maybe 5%. The other thing that I always loved about my mother especially, she said, this is a wonderful place and I want to stay here, I want to die here.
It took me years to acknowledge my Italian side. Why do we push that away when we are migrants?